Hey friends, welcome. I'm Casey. If you are new to this space, we are going to do a quick, maybe like 35 minute flow focusing on the inner thigh, the groin. So we'll get started on our backs. If you need any props, feel free to grab them. Maybe a block, but it's up to you. When you arrive on your back, if it feels okay for you to draw the soles of your feet together and just let your knees splay out wide, then feel free to go there. But wherever you are, just let your gaze go inward. Bring your awareness to your breath, your body. Take a big inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, let it go. Another big inhale through your nose. Sigh it out through your mouth. Take one more big breath in. Keep breathing in. Keep breathing in. And then open your mouth, let it go. Float your lips closed. Come back to breathing in and out through your nose. Let your inhales and exhales graze across the back of your throat. And blink your eyes open if they're closed. And keep your legs where they are, but just reach your biceps by your ears. Find some length through the sides of your waist. And then reach your fingertips to the front of your space. Interlace your fingers together except for your index fingers. So start to pulse, lift your chest, lift your heart. See if you can lift the bottom tips of your shoulder blades away from the mat every time you lift. So keep those pulses going, but can you lift your feet just 6 inches off the mat? Keep reaching your fingertips to the front of your space. Last few. Last one, hold in a crunch. Can you lift the chest a little higher? A tiny bit higher. Take a breath. Let it all go. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Maybe take a few rocks side to side along your spine. Little twists. And then eventually start to rock back and forth along your spine as many times as you need to eventually cross your shins, plant your palms, make your way to downward facing dog. A little bit of movement when you arrive. And breathe some space into the backs of your legs, the sides of your neck. And then eventually find some stillness. So all 10 fingers point toward the front of your mat. Lift your forearms forward while your triceps wrap down so you keep a little protraction in your shoulders. Even if the heels are lifted away from the mat, keep wrapping your inner thighs back. Keep pulling your tailbone away from the crown of your head. And on your inhale, drift forward, plank. Shoulders stack over your wrists. Pull your low belly in. Keep pulling your heart through the arch of your arms. Send your hips high, downward facing dog. Inhale, drift to plank. Exhale, downward facing. Drift to plank on your inhale. This time, lower chaturanga. Knees can always drop. Inhale, cobra, maybe up dog. Lift your chest. Downward facing on your exhale. Right leg rises. Bend your knees, stack your hips. Just let your right heel drop towards your left glute. On your exhale, pull your right knee to your outer right shoulder or arm. Inhale, sweep it back and stack. Exhale, knee to the outer arm. Sweep it back and stack. Last time, knee to the outer arm. Pause. See if you can keep your foot lifted away from the mat, but just let it hover next to your right pinky. Take a breath. Plant your foot. Drop your back knee. Lizard lunge. So you might slide your left knee back an inch or two. You can keep pressing into your palms or maybe drop to your forearms or rest your forearms on a block. Breathe into the outer edge of your right hip. Press back to your palms. Tuck your back toes under. Activate your back leg. So think about gluing your right outer shoulder to your right inner knee, and then spin your left heel down. Reach your left fingertips to the sky. So you can come high to your right fingertips if you want to bring the earth to you. A block underneath the right hand is a great option. But can you press your outer right arm to your inner right shin and calf to help carve your right glutes further back? And then at the same time, that traction between your arm and your inner shin will wrap your right ribs toward the left edge of your mat. Heart and navel might start to spin up to the sky. See if you can sink your hips just a tiny bit deeper, and then press into your feet to come up, warrior two. So the right inner thigh travels forward, outer edge of your right hip hooks back. Just check that you can see your big toe, maybe your second toe to the inside of your right knee. Sink a little deeper, get a little taller through the crown of your head. Flip your right palm open, reach back, reverse. Windmill your hands to frame your front foot. Back heel unplugs. Just reach your right fingertips to the sky. Outer right hip wraps back. Left leg engages. Start to shift the weight into your left hand. If you need to bring it to a block, that's perfect, but turn all 10 toes to the right edge of your mat. Heel toe your right foot back just halfway, so your knee is in line with your hip. And can you lift the outer left hip a little further away from the mat? So you can hang out here with the right foot where it is, or heel toe or float your right leg back to stack on the left. Side plank. Tailbone scoops back toward your heels. Take an inhale. Float your right hand to plank. Option to lower down. Take your vinyasa. We'll meet back in downward facing. Left leg rises. Bend your knees, stack your hips. On your exhale, knee comes to the outer left arm. Inhale, sweep it back and stack. Exhale, knee to the outer arm. Sweep it back and stack. This time we pause. So can you let your foot hover just outside your left pinky finger? Breathe. Step it down. Lizard lunge. So the back knee can drop. Maybe you come down to your forearms. See if you can let your hips sink heavy toward the mat. Press back to your palms. Tuck your back toes, activate your back leg. Spin your back heel down. Left hand stays inside your left foot. Right fingertips reach to the sky. So again, block underneath your left hand is a great option. Want to think about staying as long through your left side body as you are in your right. Broaden through your chest. Pull your shoulder blades away from each other. Can you sink the hips a tiny bit deeper? And then ground into your feet to come up. Warrior two. So the upper arm bones move away from each other. Broaden through your chest, but find some space between your shoulder blades. Can you sink a little deeper, get a little taller through the crown of your head? Left palm flips open, reach back, reverse. Windmill your hands down, frame your front foot. Back heel unplugs. Twist. Left fingertips go to the sky. The right tricep wraps back. Right hip lifts to the height of your left. Shift the weight into your right hand. Turn your toes to the left edge of your mat. Heel toe your left foot back just halfway. So the knee, the heel comes in line with your hips. Can the outer right hip lift away from the mat? Option to hang out here or step it back, float it back, side plank. You can always drop down to your bottom knee if you want a little more support. Take an inhale. Float your left hand to plank. Option to take your vinyasa, meet in downward facing. Big breath in through your nose. Sigh it out through your mouth. Lift your gaze. Bend your knees at the bottom of your breath. Step or float, feet to meet the hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to fold. Knees bend, arms rise. Chair pose. Weight sinks into the back edges of your heels, but stay heavy in the ball mounds of your big toes. See if you can sit a little bit deeper. Sit a little deeper. Fold on your exhale. Inhale, half lift. On your exhale, just step the ball of your left foot all the way back. Stay light on your fingertips. Run your arms down by your sides. So the torso hovers your right thigh. Scoop your tailbone towards your left heel. Reach your arms by your ears. Pull the crown of your head away from your left heel. And then come all the way up, crescent. Torso stacks over your hips. And the inner thighs lengthen away from each other. Outer hips frame in. Take a breath. Frame your front foot, sweep your left leg to the sky, standing split. So when you get there, just for a breath, stack your left hip over your right. Might bend your left knee, let your heel drop towards your right glute. Soften the back of your neck. And then re-lengthen through your left leg, square through your hips. Activate your left leg. Put a really deep bend in your right knee. Climb up to your fingertips. Warrior 3, lift your chest. Beautiful. Think about your entire body lifting up off of your right leg. You might reach your arms by your ears for the last breath. And then just step your left foot to meet your right. Stand all the way up, pull your right knee into your chest. Find a twist. Left hand to your outer right knee. Right fingertips might go back. Gaze might follow your right fingertips. Come back through center. Reach your arms by your ears. And then bend your left knee. Cross your right ankle over your left knee and thigh. Just let your right knee drop out to the right. Figure 4. You can stay lifted. Maybe you sink a little deeper. Forearms might rest on your shin. Maybe fingertips reach forward, sit bones pull back. Think warrior 3, shoot your right leg straight back. Just here for a breath. Crescent, ball of the right foot touches down, big inhale at the top. Spin your back heel down, warrior 2. And then pull your left leg straight. Reach as far forward as you can and down, triangle pose. Crown of the head lengthens away from your tailbone. Tailbone scoops back towards your right thigh. Press into your feet, come up, reverse your triangle. Windmill your hands to frame your front foot. Step back, lower down. Vinyasa brings you back to downward facing dog. Lift your gaze, bend your knees. At the bottom of your breath, step or float your feet to the outsides of your hands. Let your hips sink low. Hands can press at your heart. Press your outer arms, your triceps, your outer elbows into your inner knees to help lift your chest, lengthen your spine. If you need some support, a block can always come underneath your sit bones. Keep getting taller through the crown of your head, longer through your tailbone. Plant your palms, straighten through your legs, turn your toes in, forward fold. Interlace your fingers at your low back, Yoga Mudra. Release your fingertips to the mat. Heel toe your feet back together, big toes touch. Inhale, half lift. On your exhale, just step your right foot back. Get light on your fingertips. Run your arms by your sides. And then reach your arms by your ears. Pull your low belly in. Stand all the way up, crescent. You can keep a little slack in your back knee to scoop the tailbone down, but you might play around with re-lengthening through your back leg by spinning your right inner thigh up to the sky. Last inhale. Float your palms down, shift the weight to your left leg, right leg goes high, standing split. And then let your right hip open up and stack, maybe bend your right knee, let your heel drop to your left glute. Think about sending your right knee straight up to the sky. And then re-lengthen through your right leg, square through your hips. Put a deep bend in your left knee, climb up to your fingertips. Use your core to lift your chest, warrior three. Navel pulls in away from the top of your left thigh. Right inner thigh hooks up to the sky. Outer left hip spins back. Just here for a breath, maybe arms reach by your ears. Step your right foot to meet your left. Stand all the way up, pull your left knee with you. Find your twist. Right hand to your outer left knee. Left fingertips go back. Gaze might follow. Get tall through the tops of your ears. Come back through center. Reach your arms by your ears. Knit your front ribs in. Put a bend in your right knee. Hook your left ankle over your right knee. Figure four. So however you need to modify here, stay lifted. Drop your forearms to your shin. Keep wrapping your outer right hip back. Flex through your left foot. Warrior three, shoot your left leg straight back. Just here for a breath. Ball of the left foot touches back. Crescent, reach high. Spin your back heel down. Warrior two. And for just a breath, see if you can sink a little deeper. And then pull your right leg straight. Reach as far forward as you can. Triangle pose. Crown of the head lengthens away from your tailbone. Tailbone scoops back towards your left thigh. See if you can get a little lighter on your right hand. Press into your feet to come up, reverse your triangle. And then windmill your hands down, frame your front foot. Step to plank. Option to lower down. Take your vinyasa to child's pose or downward facing dog. Take a few breaths. Last breath. When you're ready, come back to downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. Right leg goes high. Bend your knees, stack your hips. On your exhale, pull your knee to your nose, step between your palms. Spin your back heel down. Keep your right hand outside your right foot. Left fingertips go high. See if you can sink your hips a little bit deeper. Stay heavy in your outer left foot. And then look just past your right toes. Plant your right fingertips there. Shift the weight forward. Left leg lifts to the height of your hips. So a block under the right hand is perfect. Keep pinning your outer right hip back. Tiny internal rotation through your left leg. And then can you activate your left waist so much that you get lighter on your right fingertips. Knit your front ribs in. Put a deep bend in your right knee. Step all the way back. Warrior two. Reach back, reverse. Windmill your hands inside your right foot. Back heel unplugs. Heel toe your right foot out to the right just a few inches, and you can hang out here. Maybe the back knee drops, lizard lunge, where we were in the beginning. If you want to play around with an arm balance, root down through your palms, lift high to your left toes, pull your right knee into your right shoulder, kick your heel towards your right glute, and then just see if maybe you can lean forward, bend your elbows, chaturanga your arms, and then maybe the back toes lift. Step back, float back, get out of there however you need. Come back to downward facing. Big breath in. Let it go. Left leg rises. Bend your knees, stack your hips. Pull your knee to your nose, step between your palms. Spin your back heel down, keep your left hand where it is. Right fingertips go high. See if you can sink the hips a little bit deeper. Keep wrapping your left ribs forward. And then look just past your left toes. Shift the weight to your left leg. Right leg lifts to the height of your hips. Ardha Chandrasana. And can you get a little lighter on your left fingertips? Maybe your shoulders start to lift to the height of your hips. Really stamp the sole of your right foot away from the crown of your head. Soften into your left knee. Step all the way back. Warrior two. Reach back, reverse. Windmill your hands inside your left foot. Back heel unplugs. Option to hang out where you are for lizard lunge, or maybe you play around with that arm balance. So high on the ball of your right foot, left knee hugs in. Lean forward, chaturanga your arms. Can use your right tricep as a shelf for your right hip point too. And then maybe the back toes lift. Step it back, float it back, belly flop it back. Get out of there however you need. Find child's pose or downward facing dog. Big breath in. Exhale, let it go. Come back to down dog when you're ready. And then pull your right knee forward. Pigeon pose. Give yourself some time to settle in. No rush to go as deeply as you can right away. Notice where you can send your breath. And where can you soften? And press back to your palms. Tuck your back toes. Come through downward facing. Shake it out. Bring some movement back into your hip. When you're ready, pull your left knee forward, pigeon pose. If you find any compression in your left knee or feel like your left hip is super lifted, You can always bring a block underneath your left hip, but you can also find figure 4 on your back if that feels better for you. Can you relax your jaw? Soften your eyebrows. When you're ready, press back to your palms. Tuck your back toes, come through downward facing. Bring some circulation back into your hip. Come all the way down to a seat. Sweep your legs to the top of your mat, and then send your legs out wide into a V. So if you want your heels on the mat, you can face the edge of your mat. Flex through your feet. Reach to the sky, get tall. Fold on your exhale. Walk yourself back up. You can use your hands to guide your legs back together. Scoot a little closer to the top of your mat if you need, and come all the way down to your back. Shavasana. Whatever shape feels good for you. Legs can go long. If you want to counter all of the inner thigh stuff that we did, you might bend your knees, plant your feet toward the outer edges of your mat, and then just let your knees knock together up top. Let your body rest. Feel free to hang out here for as long as you need. No rush to get up. Thank you so much for practicing with me. If you've got any suggestions for what you want to see in the future, feel free to leave it in the comments, and I will see you next time.